All right, week 9 college football breakdown here. Primetime battle in the SEC and a really good rivalry here. Kentucky traveling to Knoxville, taking on the Vols, seeing Tennessee at home is a 12.5-point favorite. And this total has actually come down a little bit, which we'll get to in a sec. All at 64.5 earlier in the week, all the way down to 61 now. We'll start there. I don't particularly understand that. I mean, Tennessee is a team that is just so fast-paced. They really extend games, sometimes unnecessarily, which we'll get into in this video. But I don't know, like teams like Tennessee and Oklahoma with such a maniacally fast pace, and they can create explosive plays. They're over teams. I mean, we've seen it really all year. We saw it against Florida. We saw it against Alabama. I don't really know why we wouldn't see it here. Matchup people are talking about is Kentucky's offensive line. They've been poor this year. Will Levis has been under a lot of pressure. It was a big reason why he was on the shelf for a little bit, just getting creamed back there in some of their tougher matchups. I think a lot of people assume that Tennessee's going to be able to really take advantage of that weakness for Kentucky. The one thing I'll say about O-line play, it typically gets better throughout the season. Kentucky's coming off a bye. Perhaps they figured some things out. I also wouldn't say that Tennessee has some elite pass rush either. It's been good at times, but they've also kind of not shown up at times. Very boom or bust. From there, there's a lot to like about this Kentucky offense all offseason, and I'm going to have to eat some crow here. I talked a lot of about Will Levis, and I still think it's a little bit absurd that he's been being floated around as a potential number 1 overall pick. I don't think of him that highly. I will say, though, 10 yards per attempt this year is very impressive. And I think it's even more impressive when you consider how much duress he's played under for most of the season. So we know this Tennessee back seven can be pretty leaky. They give up quite a few explosive plays. We even saw it in matchups like when they played Pittsburgh, like when they played Florida. I mean, Anthony Richardson has not been able to throw the ball on anybody this year, and he torched that Tennessee defense through the air in that second half. So I don't really see why Will Levis wouldn't be able to do the same thing here. He's way more proven as a passer. And also, I think Kentucky's run game is in a pretty good place now. Their bell cow running back, Chris Rodriguez Jr., this is a guy who was at over 6 yards a carry a year ago. He was suspended really for the first month of the season. It took him a game or two to get acclimated. He's acclimated. He's really looked good for the Wildcats here these past few weeks. I think Kentucky's going to be able to create explosive plays in multiple ways in this game. On the other hand, though, and this is why I think Tennessee is such an over team, because as many explosive plays as they give up defensively, they create more with their offense. There's nothing not to like about this offense. A lot of it is system-based because I don't think their running backs are elite, but they're good enough for what they're trying to do. They run with a lot of tempo. Hendon Hooker is a big part of the run game himself, and he's having a Heisman-level season. 71% completion, 10.8 yards per attempt. That is unreal. 18 touchdowns, 1 interception. He took care of the football great last year, so he's really proven in that area. I know Kentucky has this reputation of being very stout defensively, and they're still solid on that end of the ball, but I wouldn't say their pass rush has been overly disruptive this year. They themselves have given up far too many explosive plays on the ground. So I do like Kentucky's secondary, but this is a major step up in competition. You're not playing Ole Miss. You're not playing Florida. You're not playing Mississippi State. This is a team that can beat you in so many ways with Hendon's legs, with his arm. They've, with Jalen Hyatt, Brew McCoy, some of these receivers that have really started to emerge here this year. This is an elite offense, and I do expect them to step up well for this matchup. They're just going to have so many chances. I'll say it again. The pace in this game and just in all Tennessee games is so high that I don't really understand why this total has come down. I feel like I'm missing something. So heavy lean towards the over. Haven't locked this in yet. Recording this on Thursday night. I already have 6 plays here on this week 9 card, and I'm going to add some more tonight, tomorrow morning. And this is on the short list to be one of them. As far as a side, I would lean towards Kentucky. Even if you're a Vol fan, this line is inflated given the sentiment now that you've beaten Alabama. I'm not necessarily running to the window to bet Kentucky. I just think this over gives us a lot more leeway. If Tennessee breaks out and scores 40, this over is going to come through. If Kentucky keeps this game close, it's probably going to be via creating explosive plays. I just think this over is the best way to play this game. You see this shirt, Halloween's coming up. We got the Halloween theme. Head over to proud90.com. Unique but very comfortable polos as well. With the colder weather coming, also got a great selection of hoodies and quarter zips. Proud 90 has got all your golf apparel needs. If you see anything you like at proud90.com, use code Fordham at checkout. It's going to get you 15% off your entire order. Code Fordham at checkout is going to get you 15% off your order. Support me, support Proud 90. The rest of the information will be in the description below.